So very good evening, everybody, and I welcome you to this joint seminar by Nasscom FutureSkills Prime and Google Cloud. For those of you, I noticed a remark in the chat window that we are not audible. We have not started the session yet, so we're just going to take 2 minutes, give everybody the opportunity to join in and shortly start this session. So please bear with us for 2 minutes. So we have participants joining in, and just a few house announcements before we start the session. One is that as participants, you would notice that there is a Q&A tab that we have as part of the Zoom meeting. During the course of this webinar, we'll open up 2 slots to answer the question and answers. You're, of course, welcome to post your questions during the session. But just to streamline the session, we will take 2 slots, one in the middle of the session and one towards the end, where we'll try and collate all the questions and do our best to answer them for you. So that's just basic house announcements for the benefit of all our participants. We will give it another minute or so to allow more participants to join in, and then we will do a round of introductions and start the webinar. All right. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined in. In the interest of time, we will get started. We provided 2 minutes extra just to make sure that everybody could get onto the webinar. And during the course of the discussion, I'm sure more and more participants will join in. We are currently at about 110 participants in the webinar. Just give me a second over here. Yeah, perfect. So what I'd like to do is basically do a quick round of introductions for the benefit of everybody who's joined in. And I will start with myself. My name is Ashish Sabarwal. I'm from the Nasscom team. I manage our industry partnerships, which means that we have partnerships with many technology majors across various technologies. And that's my role at Nasscom. We are very proud to bring to you together today our association with the Google Cloud team. And I take this opportunity to introduce both members from the Nasscom team as well as from the Google team. To begin with, we have Sridevi Sira. Sridevi manages our relationships with the academia, with various policy and government bodies. We also have from Nasscom, Praveen Kuhad. Praveen is part of the industry partnerships team and program manages this program with Google Cloud. From the Google Cloud team, we have Isha Porwal, who is the program manager for this particular program from Google Cloud side. We also have Ashay Singarkar, as well as Meenal Borkar from the Google Cloud teams, who are subject matter experts for the course that we are bringing to you. So more detailed introductions as we go on. But first of all, many, many thanks for joining us today. We are really proud to bring this program to you. The reason you're probably on this webinar is because you've registered yourselves for the program. And our intention today is to walk you through the program, take you through the highlights, and hope that the journey for you through the program is a lot easier. As we dive into it, I'd like to request Sridevi Sira from the Nasscom team for the opening remarks before we move on to the other speakers. Shri, over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Ashish, and welcome to the entire Google team and all the participants who've made it to this segment to catch up with us to talk about Google program. Before we move on, it's very important for all of us on this place to understand what Nasscom stands for and, what is Future Skills all about. Nasscom is basically an industry apex body for the IT and ITES sector, representing almost about 180 billion IT and BPM industry in the country. We are also the chosen partners for Government of India to implement various skilling initiatives as far as IT sector is concerned. We are almost about 30 years plus, established in 1988. We are in the pursuit of constantly supporting the IT and BPM industry, and I represent a specific segment which caters to one of the very important element, which is called as talent nurturing. While we look around right now, it's very common for us to hear a lot about the emerging technologies. Today, we hear artificial intelligence, cloud technologies as day in and day out kind of technology words for us. Sometime back, we did a research trying to understand how is future of work going to look like. While this research brought out very interesting elements, it called out very clearly that the future is going to be lying with almost about 10 technologies and 10 professional skills, which will rule the world in times to come. We looked around and, the vision with which we started off is what is the advantage situation that India is standing on today? We are having the best demographic dividend when compared to any other nation. 67% of our population is below the age group of 35. That means we've got young population, and that's the greatest advantage that any nation can have. Then we looked around, if all these emerging technologies and their demographic dividend is standing as an advantageous situation for us, what is it that we should look for? What should be the vision? Today, as we move around, digital ecosystem has become part and parcel. And the vision for Nasscom was to transform India's digital ecosystem. And we have set out with a thought process saying, think digital, think India. On that note, along with Government of India, we built out this particular platform, which is called as FutureSkills Prime platform. This platform is now called as a platform for national skilling. As we speak right now, we have about 1 million plus kind of learners from across the country who are participating in their skilling, upskilling, and reskilling journey via this platform. The platform is all set out to, ensure that you learn about all these emerging technologies with a clear focus of how do you interpret that for your day-to-day living. We have a greatest opportunity, in years to come, you will find India will contribute about 90 million people to the world's workforce by 2030. And that's not going to be possible if we don't focus on the technologies that the industry is actually looking for. When we look around, it's very important for us to see that we develop, core technology skills that are recognized both by the industry and the Government of India. That's a specific focus with which we brought in a lot of programs on this platform, which are all aligned to National Skills Qualification Framework, which is recognized both by government and also the industry folks. Not just that, these programs that you will get trained and certified are recognized by industry, but you also get some Government of India incentives if you are falling into the category of beneficiary. So not taking too much of your time, I don't want to stand between you and your technical learning. So I would like to tell you that you're all set to, learn, brilliant technology that has got a great share of employment potential in this country, not just for now, but for many years to come. And not just opening avenues in the country, but your actually avenues are getting opened up for across the globe. Wishing you great luck, handing it back to Ashish to learn more about Google Cloud Course.
Thank you, Sridevi. Thanks for summarizing regarding the FutureSkills Prime platform. So just to all the participants, you're part of a very large a cohort of learners, over 1 million people who are registered on FutureSkills Prime. You're a part of this revolution. We really hope you can benefit from the program. Your questions are welcome. I think Rinesh put a question in Q&A. You're welcome to put these in. Just a quick reminder We'll take questions at 2 stages during the discussions, one at a midpoint and one in the end. So we will collate and try and answer your questions all together at these 2 stages. I'm going to hand over to Isha Porwal to talk a little bit more specifically on the Google Cloud program that we have brought to you today. Isha, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ashish, for that. Can you please confirm if my screen is visible now?
Yes.
Great. All right, let's get started. So hi, everyone. I am going to walk you through the course you have been enrolled into, the Google Cloud Computing Foundation with Kubernetes program, right? So I think as have been discussed in this session already, we understand, right, that there is an accelerated move towards the cloud, due to which there is a tremendous demand for qualified professionals to be proficient with the technology. Now, in order to bridge the skill gap, we have built this enterprise-ready curriculum for all of you, which leads to industry-recognized skills and badges. Okay, so I think we all understand, and this is according to one of the reports which Indeed has provided to us, that over 90% of the IT leaders expect to expand the cloud services in next 1 to 3 years. And not only this, you know, other industries like the business to consumer SaaS markets or other enterprises like the logistics, the banks, the automotives, everybody is moving to the cloud. So investing in cloud skills at this moment is going to be great from your future and career perspective. On that, definitely, undergoing any kind of training and role-based certifications will give you a benchmark for success. Right. So having said that, I will, quickly walk you through the event agenda. Today, I'm going to give you the program introduction first, after which I'm going to hand it over to our subject matter expert, Meenal, who will walk you through the course introduction, walk you through the fundamentals. You are going to learn some amazing concepts regarding this course, have a hands-on lab experience, and even walk through the Google Cloud Skills Boost platform, the platform on which you are currently undergoing the course. At the end, we'll also have the summary as well as some closing remarks. So that's what we have in the agenda today. The next 1 hour, we have to try to utilize it as much as possible. So let me get started with the program introduction. Okay, so the Google Cloud Computing Foundation with Kubernetes program. I think this program is, for anyone who has 0 to no background experience in cloud can actually take up this course. This is a beginner level 5 series course, and this provides an overview, of concepts related to cloud computing, machine learning, big data, and how the Google Cloud platform fits in. Okay, so this is basically an ideal foundation for diverse career paths, including IT infrastructure, data analytics, cloud native application development. And this is a mixture of theoretical as well as hands-on lab experience that you get through our Google Cloud Skills Boost platform. Upon completion of the course, you receive a course completion certificate along with the digital badges. More details about it I'm going to give in the next few slides. Now, a quick overview about the program. This is an on-demand version, which means that whenever you get time, you can go to our Google Cloud Skills Boost platform, and it's a self-paced online course. The duration of this course is 62 hours overall. And this course is for enthusiasts like you who are really interested to know more about cloud and machine learning, have some basic IT knowledge. If people like you have competencies in at least one of the languages, such as Python or Java, then this is helpful. If you're familiar with the basics of shell scripting, SQL, etc., again, this is going to be helpful for you in this journey. Now, very quick walkthrough where we are and where we are supposed to go in order to complete this course. Okay, so today we are at phase 4. You have already completed the rest of the phases where you enrolled in the program. You were on the first come first serve basis. You have got a seat and you finally got the access to the program. So I think what I want to emphasize on this session today is that all of you might have received an email which talks about the course access. It should be titled as Action Required, the course, the GCCF with Kubernetes course access email. So in that particular email, if you have not gone through the email till now, I would request you to actually go through the email later on after the session. It has the steps for you to get the access to the course. It provides you the access to a unique code that has been provided to every individual. It has 200 credits, Google Cloud Skills Boost 200 credits allocated to each user, each learner here. And you have to perform certain steps which are mentioned in the email, and you will get those credits. The last date to get the access to those credits is 10th of November. So make sure, in case you have not already received those 200 credits on the Google Cloud Skills Boost, please make sure that you get them before 10th of November. I'll also walk through a video on how you can get those credits in just some time. Okay. After this, once you have enrolled in the program, you can get started. Okay. There's this particular landing page that I'll walk you through. There are 5 courses that you have to complete as a part of this program, and you have to complete all those courses within a period of 6 months, right? So from your enrollment, which means that now you have some 5.5 months remaining where you have to complete this particular course. Okay. Now, once you complete this course, every time you complete the course, you can actually see you have earned a course badge, which is visible to you on your public profiles. The Google Cloud Skills Boost public profiles, you have your courses visible there. So you can check which courses you have completed. Finally, once you complete all the 5 courses, every monthly basis, we evaluate your performance. And once you have completed the entire 5 courses, you will get the course completion certificate, within 10 days of your course completion. Okay. Apart from the course completion certificate, what you're earning is also called as Google Cloud hosted skill badges. These are highly industry recognized. These are in the form of course badges or skill badges, which are shareable on your social media profiles as well as on your resumes. And finally, once you complete this journey, you can go ahead and put it on the social media with hashtag Google Cloud Ready, hashtag FutureSkills Prime. So that's how your entire roadmap will look like in this journey, of course. Okay. Having said that, these are the 5 courses I've been talking about. These are the 5 courses also visible to you on the landing page. She can probably put the link of the landing page for your reference later on. You can go through the landing page. You can get started if you're not already got started with the course. Okay. Now, apart from the 5 course completion badges, to test your skills, we also have something called as skill badges. These are basically challenge labs after end of each course. If you complete that challenge lab, you earn a skill badge. Okay. Again, this is an optional thing. The 5 course completion is a compulsory thing to count your courses completed. The 4 skill badges are optional for you. That's definitely going to be helpful for you to showcase your skill if you take them, because these are the assessment or the challenge labs. Okay. Now, finally, I'll walk you through the landing page, and very quickly, lastly, I will make sure that you are going through the videos to get the credits and then hand it over to me. So this is how our landing page looks like. I'm sure all of you who are there on the call right now have visited this page, and you might have enrolled on this through this particular page. If you scroll a little down, these are the 5 courses that I've been talking about. So you have to complete these courses in order. Once you complete the first 3 courses, we are going to evaluate your performance and provide you the remaining 400 credits as well to take up the 4th and 5th course. Okay. And all the details which I am saying is also mentioned in the FAQ section here. So whenever, if you have any questions and queries, the best way to reach out is just go through the FAQs which are mentioned on the landing page. And apart from this, we have a support email address, which is support@quicklabs.com. In all our communication, this email has been communicated even when you refer to the FAQs. This is a support email address in case you're facing any issues related to the labs or in getting the credits. This is the email address that you can refer to, which is support@quicklabs.com. Now, I think finally, I would request if Ashish can just quickly, show the video, and then I think we should be good to go.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Isha, very much for that. A couple of things. One is that I want to request and remind everybody that when you are logging in and using the courses, you log in via the FutureSkills Prime portal, which is www.futureskillsprime.in. From there, you're taken to the Google Cloud course. Please bear in mind, in all your interactions, use the same email ID. So Please don't log in with different email IDs on at different parts of this program. Please make sure your email ID is consistent, right? So that was one request. Before we move to the video, Isha, there was one question which I think is worth taking right now. As Isha pointed out, that your credits are valid till the 10th of November, which is another 2 days to start the program, which means you don't have to finish the program in 2 days. You have to at least start the program in 2 days. We have one interesting question, which is by Nadavadam Shirisha. Nadavadam asks that Nadavadam, the code, you must start the program by 10th, and he wants to know till when can we complete the course after accessing the code.
Yes. So basically, you're going to get 6 months from the time you have received the email. Okay. So 5.5, we are already past 15 to 20 days from when the program has started. So you have 5.5 months remaining to complete this course.
Great. Thank you for that. So Nadavadam, hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play the video. So the video itself does not have any audio, but Isha, if you could kindly, talk the participants through what's being shown on the video. So a quick second while I share my screen.
Yeah, so while Ashish is presenting, everyone, I just want to let you know that this video has been shared with you already as a part of the email. And this video basically talks about how you can get your 200 quick Google Cloud Skills Boost credits. Okay, it does not have any sound in it. And all the captions are also noted. Okay, so this is the email probably you would have received. Okay, the video is already started. So you have to open the incognito window and you have to paste the link. It is asking you for your unique access code. Each individual here has been provided a unique access code. So you paste this unique code here. Make sure that you're doing it before 10th of November. Now you go ahead and basically sign in through your registered Google Cloud Skills Boost account. Now it's an important point here. So you have an option to enroll in this on-demand course. So you have to make sure that you enroll in the course first. And when you refresh, you will see 9 credits being accounted in your account. Okay. After this, basically, you have to go ahead and take one of the labs, which is the tour of Quick Labs and Google Cloud. And you have to complete this lab entirely with a 100% score. To find where this lab is, you can just refer to this video. When you scroll after enrolling in the program and when you scroll down, this lab will be visible to you. You simply have to follow all the instructions which are present in the lab. You have to start the lab. Always remember to launch it with the credits, right? Because the credits have been given to you for a purpose, and this is where you have to utilize them. Now give some 10-15 minutes and perform the labs as per the instruction. And get a 100% assessment score. This is just depicting how you can follow the instructions. So you see on the right hand side, check my progress, it's giving 100 on 100. So that's how you know that you have completed the entire lab. Then you click there to end the lab. Now simply you go on the home page and you see your account, and you will see that 204 are credited in your account. Okay, so that's how you get the credits. And same steps for, I know that there are students who have already completed the first 3 courses. They might have received the code for the remaining 400 credits as well. You have to follow the same step that you did but this time just for 400 credits. Having said that, thank you so much. I think that covers the program related aspect of this part. And now I'll hand it over to Ashish.
Yeah, thank you, Isha. So I think this has been a very interesting session, because we've all of a sudden seen a flurry of questions come in as well. So just to quickly recap, so we will take a pause in the middle and the end to try and answer more questions. But just for clarity, yes, it is important that you start the course by the 10th. If you don't, yes, your credits do become invalid. So you don't have to finish it by the 10th, but you certainly need to start by the 10th. And as Isha mentioned, your credits will remain valid for a few months after that. But please start the journey, because if you don't start the journey, yes, the credits do become invalid. We will walk through a little bit more of these steps more in detail. But before we do that, I do want to bring in the subject matter expert from Google Cloud, because the reason we are doing this session is that instead of making it as an only self-paced session, you also get some insights through live sessions like these. And it would be great to get feedback from you in the Q&A or via the Q&A if you'd like to continue doing these, because our intention is to guide you through this journey. So if you find that this session is useful, please do share feedback. We are more than happy to do more of these sessions if they're helpful, especially as you go on your journey. And we can also use this opportunity to clear any doubts you may have through the Google Cloud subject matter experts. We want to try and do our best to make sure you complete this course. I also want to quickly point out that we are developing an assessment for this course as well. This is an assessment that will be, this is a Nasscom assessment that will be available to you. And being Nasscom, because our mission is to try and skill at a large scale and bring skilling to as many people as possible, these assessments are priced at a very nominal and a minimal amount of rupees 600. So you will, of course, get a course completion certificate from Nasscom FutureSkills Prime and Google Cloud when you complete this course. But you also have the opportunity to get an assessment certification, which means that you can present this to potential employers, and it's something that can also help you in your career journey, right? I will now hand over to Dr. Meenal Borkar from the Google Cloud team. Meenal is the technical training manager for JPAC, based out of India for Google Cloud. She has over 20 years of experience in content creation, delivery, feedback, and assessments. She's worked in conventional face-to-face training environments as well as online training environments like this one. So she's perfectly suited for this particular session. Meenal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Just a quick confirmation. Am I audible? Okay, thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. And please accept my congratulations to all of you for registering in this course. And I'm very happy that you people have taken your first step towards your skills enhancement, and Google Cloud is awesome way to start. So let me quickly share my screen and let's start going through it. So let me quickly share this. So as Isha and Ashish both mentioned, and before that, just a quick check. I hope my screen is visible. Can someone give me a quick thumbs up, maybe?
Yes,
Is it visible?
It's visible, yes.
Okay, thank you. So as Isha told you, 10th November is the important date. Before 10th November, I request everyone to follow the instructions which were shown in the video and make sure you have access and you have, initial credits to start your journey on Google Cloud. So let me start our discussion with a very brief overview about what all things are there in this course and what all exciting activities you're going to do in this particular journey. Once I do that quick introduction, I will then dive deeper into first course where we will talk about what is cloud computing, how is it different, and what is special, or what is the architecture working inside Google Cloud. So let's get started. So as we discussed, this particular course is made up of 5 different courses, and this is a kind of journey which will start with very basic understanding about what is cloud computing, what are the main characteristics, what are the main components or foundations, and then slowly and steadily start taking you deeper into infrastructure inside Google Cloud. Then we'll talk about network and security in Google Cloud in course number 3. Then comes, exciting keywords like data, machine learning, and AI, which everyone is using in some or other way in our daily lives, and they're very, very keen to know like how can I implement this. So that is course number 4. And then when we talk about like implementation of huge applications, when we talk about implementing end-to-end applications in a way where multi-cloud environment is going to come in picture, hybrid environment is coming in picture, and we want to take advantage from each and every platform that is available out there, and that is where Kubernetes engine is going to fascinate us. So this is going to be our entire journey. And if I take you to um, the course page, which I hope you can see on the screen. If it is not visible, let me just zoom in. So this is how your Cloud Skills Boost course page is going to look like. So if you see here, there is a list of 5 courses which is present. And in order to start your activities inside this course, you need to first make sure you are enrolled in this on-demand course. Now, just to show you how exactly this is working, I'm going to click on this enroll in this on-demand course. And then once I do that, it is basically enrolling me. You typically see this message, you have successfully enrolled. And then if you start going further, you will see the first course modules are unlocked here. So you can see the first course that we are going to talk today is Cloud Computing Fundamentals. Now, this particular course is made up of 3 important modules. First one is Welcome to the Course, and it basically talks about course introduction, what are the course objectives. And if I remember correctly, the objective is making every participant familiar with what is cloud computing, how exactly the transition from on-premise infrastructure to cloud infrastructure happened, and then making slowly and steadily introducing you people to Google Cloud concept. Then there is a second module called as What is Cloud Anyway? And here you will see list of different activities present to complete. So if you see this page, I want all of you to observe, the modes using which the information and activities are planned. So you will see there will be some videos, there will be some quizzes available. If we further scroll down, there will be labs, there will be some quizzes, and again the combination of document, video, quiz, lab. In these ways we are going to cover the topics or concepts which are involved in a particular course. Now, once we enroll, typically all these modules get unlocked for us, and then we are actually ready to start our journey. Now, what am I going to do here? That is the question. So I will be walking you all through the main concepts which are part of our first course, that is Cloud Computing Fundamentals. Now, I'm sure majority of you, or at least some of you, have already completed this particular course. Now, as a trainer, I have a hint, or I have a tip here for all of you. It is my typical observation that whenever we start a new thing, everyone, including me, we are super excited. And, yes, I want to complete it. And we just start rushing through whatever content is available. Now, my humble request to all of you is hold on. I can understand we all are excited, but take your time. Go through all the resources which are part of this course or whichever course you're doing, and then take sufficient time to read through the concepts, take sufficient time to watch the resources, take sufficient time to perform labs also. Many times people simply say that, oh, okay, here are the commands which are given in the lab manual, let me do copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And trust me, at the end of this lab, we do not learn even how to copy paste. Okay, so please, please, please don't do that. Read the instruction manual very, very carefully. And I see some people smiling already, but this is my common experience whenever I deliver any training, irrespective of any country, any target audience group. So my humble request is always, please take time, go through and make sure you're really understanding the concepts which are covered in that part of resources. Okay, with those words, let's quickly discuss what are the main concepts which are going to come up in our first course, that is cloud computing fundamentals. And I hope till this point you people are with me. Okay, all right. Now, when we start this discussion, the first question which always come to our mind is, what is cloud anyway? Like, can someone tell me, like, where exactly did this come from? Okay, so let us first talk about what exactly are the fundamental characteristics of cloud computing. Now, if you see here on the screen, there are 5 characteristics. Firstly, cloud will be a on-demand self-service kind of environment, wherein, there will be a vendor available. This vendor or this cloud company, I may say in simple words, will have pool of resources with them, and they will make available these pool of resources to companies, individuals who want to use their resources to perform their computing operations. Now, if we see here, I just talked about on-demand self-service. I talked about resource pooling um, uh, in a couple of minutes time. Now, what happens here? So the cloud provider companies like Google Cloud, they have huge number of resources. When I say resources, I am typically referring to compute power, that is CPUs, GPUs, and any other processing, innovations which keep on happening inside cloud companies. Then I am referring to memory resources. Then I'm referring to networking resources, and all these resources, they are basically made available by that public provider to companies, to customers. And most importantly, as per the requirement of the company, as per the requirement of the customer, these resources can be made available to those users dynamically as and when required. What is the biggest advantage in this case? There is no human intervention required. You need resources? No worries. Go to your cloud provider account, request, launch your resources, start using them, and then you're done. Now, a question comes like, but Meenal, the users are spread across globe. How are these resources being provided to everyone present out there? Now, answer is broad network access. Now, all these resources, they are physically spread across the globe, but they are connected with very fast internet or very fast network connections. And using those connections, basically, anyone can access to those resources. I request, please remember this particular point for a bit, because I will be talking more about it in pure technical terms in a few minutes. Then comes, okay, I started with a few resources, but then, my demand increased. How will I get more resources? What should I do here? Is there something like a helpline or something I need to call or something? No, there will be elastic services available which will scale your resources automatically as per the requirements. And that is the beauty of cloud computing. Now, most important question. Hey, I'm using these resources. What about my bills? How will I get charged? Now, the beauty of cloud computing and the most important fundamental that we need to remember is pay for what you use policy. So your bills or your charge usage charges will be generated with respect to the resources that you will use. So if I talk specifically about Google Cloud, per second billing is what enabled on our platform. So say for example, if I launch a virtual machine, which is nothing but a kind of server in simple words, and if I use it for a certain duration, the price can be or the billing can be generated likewise. So remember these 5 characteristics. Now, when we talk about IT infrastructure, you can take an analogy similar to city infrastructure. So when we plan a city, there are some basic necessities like roads has to be there, water supply has to be there, waste disposal and treatment, those resources or those processing plants are required. Now, when we consider the infrastructure provided by cloud computing platforms, it is something similar to city infrastructure. So the cloud provider like Google Cloud, they will have all those physical resources. They may also have the applications developed on it, like services or something. And then users will choose whatever they want to use from that platform. Now, what exactly I mean that? Let's talk a bit about it. Now, cloud computing actually evolved over a period of time. Now, initially, when companies started using computers to process their data, typically, whether you are a technology company or you're a non-technology company, everybody used to host their infrastructure on premise. So, they have their dedicated teams which will set up servers, networking, memory, and these teams are responsible to guess how many more servers will be required, procuring those servers, deciding their capacity, and then installing applications, making sure like all these machines are working properly, there are no faults, and all those things the dedicated teams used to do. Soon people found like, oh, it's too much work, like I'm not a technology company, I'm a cloth manufacturing company, but it is too much burden on my team, I need to hire all the experts who can do all these things. So then something called as co-location facilities started coming in picture. Now, co-location facilities basically provided the space on rental basis to the companies who need to install their servers in that particular um, on-premise data center, or maybe in that vicinity or in that building, I may say. Now, what was changed here? So basically, the place was available on the rent with basic requirements like AC, installation racks, basic networking, electricity, and those things were available. Now, what people from the company used to do, their IT teams or their hardware teams will go to that particular building. They will install their servers on the racks. They will connect through the networking lines, and then they configure and do other stuff. Then, somewhere around 2006, a concept called as virtualized data center came in picture. So, in these virtualized data centers, basically, public cloud providers, they started offering hardware space to people, and they said like, okay, let us handle infrastructure physically on our own, and as a user you build whatever you want using those facilities. And that is where virtual kind of environment started coming in picture. At Google Cloud, we are actually thinking ahead of time, and we say that if you see like what happened in 2006, still some sort of human intervention was required in terms of guessing how many virtual machines will I need. Now, when I say virtual machine, basically it is a kind of machine. You will not see the physical server in this case, but you will see the environment in which you can install things, you can configure things, and make your application run. So some intervention, some human intervention was still required back here to decide how many virtual machines will I need? What should be the capacity of this machine? Oh, my application in normal working days require 30 virtual machines, but when it is, a time of discount or time of some promotional activity, I need 3,000 machines. Now, how will I scale that? How much time window do I have and other stuff? Now, to take away that burden, Google Cloud started offering something called as managed services. And this is where futuristic technologies started coming in picture. Now, here, if we see, this is the journey that we quickly talked about. So we started with physical on-premise data centers. Then we went to the co-location where some basic facilities are available, but still IT teams were required to do the work. Then we came to virtualized, like user configured, provider managed and maintained facilities came in picture. And today with Google Cloud, we are talking about serverless technologies, which are fully automated technology. Just focus on your application and let Google Cloud handle everything behind scene for you. And all this with pay for what you use type of billing things. Now on Google Cloud, when you start going further in the course, you will see three types of offerings: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Now, as a cloud provider, we are flexible and we want our users to choose whatever combination they want to implement their own workloads. Now, when we say infrastructure as a service, the physical resources are hosted by Google Cloud, but entire control of configuration is with user. Okay, so that is one type of operation. Platform as a service, we simply say, okay, you are an e-commerce company, you have your application and you want to host it for your upcoming promotion. Don't worry, we offer you service, bring in your application, host it on our platform as a service, and let us take care of, expanding resources, reducing resources, making your application reliable, fault free, and give a fantastic experience to your users. That is what is platform as a service. And then comes software as a service, where user can simply focus on data, and Google provides even applications, data processing frameworks as per the requirements. I'm sure you must have all heard about products like BigQuery. So they are typically software as a service provisioning. Now, as a customer, you have full flexibility to choose any of these approaches, mix of these approaches, and whatever. So in short, if you want to remember, if you go more towards infrastructure as a service, you basically take more and more responsibility with respect to managing infrastructure and having maximum control over those implementations. When you go towards managed services, you go with dynamic infrastructure where you trust Google Cloud with doing all the backend work, and as a customer you focus on your core functionality. Now, there are many other reasons for which customers typically prefer to work with Google Cloud. So firstly, Google is well known for its security, and that is the first and most important reason. With Google Cloud, your data, as soon as it enters into Google's network, it gets encrypted. And there are so many multi-layered approaches available, which are backed up by machine learning capabilities, which continuously keep on checking and working on security related aspects. Google truly believes in multi-cloud and hybrid deployments, and we are a true multi-cloud provider. We always encourage our customers to bring in best out of all possible execution environments and then implement the things. Our services are truly committed to this particular parameter, I must say. Fully managed and no ops, as I mentioned. Say, for example, just you have 1 petabyte of data and you want to see what all things are there in this data. Don't worry, bring that data into a service like BigQuery and then start playing with SQL without worrying about how many servers are required behind scene, how exactly they are communicated with each other, how exactly the search engine is getting patched and other stuff. Don't worry about it. We handle everything for you and help you focus on your core functionality. AI and ML, Google is again famous for this. And I'm sure you must have seen many examples like Gmail is giving you 3 possible replies for every email that comes to your mailbox. You must have seen, like in Google Maps, it shows you the time needed to reach to a particular destination. How exactly are we implementing? So intelligence in everything. And we believe that every company is a data company, whether you are a technology company or you're not. Everything is a data driven thing. And best of Google. So culture of innovation to customers and partners. This is another area because of which customers always count on Google and Google Cloud for this particular thing. So what all products are available on Google Cloud? So if we consider overall product offerings, we have created some groups under which these products are being categorized. So the first and basic level of offering is providing compute power so that applications can run. And if you see, there are offerings like compute engine, which are pure infrastructure as a service offering, Google Kubernetes engine for containerized applications, app engine, which is platform as a service where you can hassle-free implement your applications without worrying about provisioning, cloud functions, cloud run, and in your the course, 5 course journey, you will be slowly and steadily exploring these components one by one. Under storage, we encourage our users to bring structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, and we provide different storage technologies which can handle these data types. So Cloud Table and Firestore. So this is a bit older slide, I can say. So now data store is known as Firestore. These are NoSQL databases which can be used in the application development. Cloud storage is our blob storage, perfectly suitable to handle any type of data, any size of data. Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner, these are our RDBMS implementations. So this is Cloud SQL is normal RDBMS, and Cloud Spanner, this is our distributed RDBMS, which can handle petabyte scale data. Next, under big data and machine learning, there are various products which work, and people and companies that are creating wonders. So you can observe the products like BigQuery, PubSub, Dataflow, Dataproc, and then AI platforms is available wherein you can analyze images, audio, cloud translation like translate.google.com, where is it originated? So this is the translation API. Now, one point I want you all to notice here, being a public cloud provider, all these offerings which are being provided to you, they are basically coded as an API. Okay, so with API, Google Cloud has hidden all the implementation details behind scene and making it very simple for people to work with Google Cloud. Then comes network. Now, if you remember, I mentioned that public cloud providers, they physically maintain their resources in something called as data center, and these data centers are spread across the globe. Now, how exactly we offer the fast services, and network is answer to that thing. Now, if you see, this is the Google owned network layout, and we literally own thousands of miles of fiber optics over which the traffic travels. In some survey, they found like every day, nearly 40% of the internet's traffic travel over Google owned fiber optics. Now, a question comes like, okay, my company wants to connect to Google's network because, we want to avail all the services from the cloud. Is it possible? Answer is yes. We provide you edge point of presence where Google exposes its network for external connectivity, and that way you can get connected. Then comes where exactly these physical data centers are located and how do we manage them. Now, these two concepts which you are seeing on the screen, they are most important. Please pay attention. So there is something called as region and there is something called as zone. Now, our customers are located everywhere across the globe and we want to provide them services. Now, how will we do that? So we need physical infrastructure, and these physical infrastructures are actually set up in facilities called as zone. And then according to independent geographic area, they are connected together called as region. So say for example, India is a region, and now when we say that there is a region, minimum 3 zones will be always there to make sure we are giving you reliable infrastructure which can tolerate fault. Now, as of now, Google Cloud provides you 35 active regions with minimum 3 zones acting inside it. Okay. Now, in your first course and in your upcoming courses also, these regions and zones mentioned are going to come very, very frequently. So do remember this point. Then comes like how exactly the resources are organized inside Google Cloud. So you can see resources are necessarily the services which you are using to implementing. And then if you want to use these services, you should be part of something called as project. Without creating a project, you will never be able to use any of our services. And please note that in this course, you will be doing multiple labs. And in every lab, whenever you get free credentials from our platform, there will be always a project created for you, and you will be automatically placed inside that project. And then only you will be able to perform the activities. Many times, participants say that I'm not able to launch a service. Now, what you need to check? Please check in the console whether you have selected a project or not. So let me show you that quickly. So this is how Google Console typically looks like. Now, if you see, this is the place where you see Meenal B demo. It is the project name. Now, as this project is selected for me, I'm able to launch these services or any service which is part of this navigation menu. Now, if during labs you are not able to launch any of the services, this is the area which you need to check for sure. Okay, so that is a quick tip again from my side. Now, going back to the presentation, so projects can be part of folders, which is an optional feature, but they are typically associated with some organization or domain, I may say. Now, in your foundation course, which we are discussing currently, all these things are going to be discussed in details, and I want all of you to pay attention to those details. With that, we come to our next section, but it is time quickly to check any questions. I know it's like only 5 minutes are left, but if there are any questions, we can take at this time.
Thanks, Meenal. So I think a lot of questions have been largely related to everybody wanting to make sure they can start the program and they can make use of the credits. So just to reiterate, someone asked, would watching the session video count as starting the program? No, it will not. You have to actually go to and enroll, go to the quick labs after you've enrolled at FutureSkills Prime and click on the enroll for a particular course button, use the credits and start the course, right? So it's extremely important you do that. We've been answering questions to you, all of you, via the Q&A window. So I think most of them are answered. There's 3 left open. We will answer those as well. I'll take one online. I think, Meenal, you had shown a diagram where, so this is by an anonymous attendee, so I don't know who's asking, but there were certain data centers which are not connected by dots with optical fibers. How are these connected with each other?
Okay. So I know, like, they must be referring to
Yes, this one.
This diagram.
Yes.
This is a bit older one, and it is really not required like each dot is connected with each other dot directly. The network design is done in such a way that these dots, these are basically the point of presence locations. So basically these are the locations where Google network is exposed for external connections. So for example, TCS wants to connect their network with Google's network. How will they connect? Where are those facilities available? Okay, so say for example, in India, these 3 dots are the places where TCS may consider connecting their network to Google's network. Okay, so POP necessarily indicates the locations where Google network is exposed for outside connections. Otherwise, it is, Google has its own internal network. So all these blue lines which you are seeing, these are all fiber optic cables which are privately owned by Google. It's our network. I hope I answered the question.
Great. No, thank you, Meenal. I'll take one more live and then we'll go back to you. There is one question from Anshuman Maurya, which says that I have enrolled using my college email ID and not my personal ID. Anshuman, that is okay. The only thing we ask of you is to keep your email ID consistent, both on FutureSkills Prime and on Quick Labs, which is the Google Cloud course consumption platform. So as long as you have kept the email ID the same, you're okay. All right, Meenal, I'll go back to you. Let's complete the session and then maybe we can try and wrap up and take a few more questions.
Sure. I think I will be needing 5 more minutes than the stipulated one. Is it okay?
Yes, please go ahead. Let's complete the session.
Okay, fine. So the next section we are going to talk about, awesome. We now know that what is Google Cloud, where are the regions, zones, and then which all services are being offered. But how will I use it? Like, what are different ways to use this platform? So this slide talks about it. So there are 4 ways using which anyone can interact with Google Cloud Console. So firstly is a web console. So if you see this particular website which I have just displayed, this is the web console. Okay, so you basically log into console.cloud.google.com, you create a project, and then you start using the services. This is the first way. So it is known as Google Cloud Console web user interface. Now there are people who are more comfortable using command line interface. They are more familiar with those type of things. Now, can we connect using command line interface? Answer is yes, and that is where Cloud SDK and Google Cloud Shell comes in picture. So Cloud SDK is available for ready download. You can download it to your laptop, to your PC, and using that you can then connect to Google Cloud Platform and you may start working with services. Third option typically comes in picture, like you are a developer, you are working on an application and you want your application to be communicating with Google Cloud Platform. Now, how are you going to allow that type of communication? And that is where REST-based APIs come in picture. Now, if you remember a few minutes back, I talked like Google Cloud is API-driven platform. All the services, whatever things you are seeing on the console, they are actually APIs. Okay, so for each and every offering, there is API available, and these APIs you can directly integrate with your applications, and then using that interface, you can start working with the platform. Now, many a times it is also required that, hey, I quickly want to check like what is happening in my environment. Is there a mobile app for that? Answer is yes. We provide you a Cloud Console mobile app available for both iOS as well as Android. And using this app also, you can start working with the platform. Now, as I mentioned before, having a project is very, very crucial. Without project, you will not be able to use any of the services which are available inside Google Cloud. Now, why that project is required? It's okay, services are not available. But then with project, you can enable services and APIs for your users. You can enable billing, so you can track who is using what, how many resources are being used, what are the charges which are getting generated. Even in your environment, there will be multiple users working, so you need to manage permissions, you need to provide them various access grants, and project will give you that framework using which you can have full control over your cloud computing environment on the Google Cloud. So how your project typically looks like? So there will be a project ID, there will be a project name, and there will be a project number. So if you remember, MeitY demo, which we saw a couple of minutes back, was the project name. Now, to that project name, one project ID and project number, they were associated. And typically project ID and project number, they are used for internal purposes to track down various activities which are part of it. Now, how exactly billing works? So typically there is a billing account associated for project resources. your account, this billing account can be linked to 0 or more projects. So say if you're part of XYZ company and there are 10 projects, you may have one billing account associated with all 10 projects, or you may have two billing accounts associated with a number of projects, something like that. It is totally up to your administrator. Now, these accounts are charged automatically. You could get invoice monthly, or you can also receive invoices at threshold limit for resource utilization. And if required, you may also go into, separate billing for projects. But all these activities are basically done by administrators for your organization. But it is important to get familiar. And module number 2 basically covers some of the details for these points. Now, how exactly APIs help us in the design? Now, to be very honest, Google Cloud is made up of thousands of hundreds of services and so many things which are working behind scene. Now, if we expose everything to our user, things will be like scary, or I may say dangerously scary, and nobody will able to perform anything on the platform. Now, to hide all those implementation details, we created API for each and everything that happens on Google Cloud, and users interact with these APIs, and then internally Google Cloud handles all the implementations without exposing things to our user. Module 2, in that sense, from your course is important because it talks about essentials. Without knowing them, you will miss the crux of Google Cloud. Okay, so I want everybody to be paying attention to those details. Then comes your third module from the course, where you talk about applications on Google Cloud. So what are ways available using which you can implement, build, and run your application? So there are 4 ways discussed. Compute engine, which is pure virtual machine based application. So you typically launch a kind of server environment and you configure, you install your application, and then you run it. Then app engine, you have developers who are developing application, but you don't want to do any infrastructure management related thing. So app engine is suitable for those things. Cloud function, these are basically, fully managed serverless execution environment where you are basically willing to run code as and when required. So for example, there is an application which you are developing where if a user drops in a new file, you want to read that file and then do something about the data. Now, with this application, you say, but Meenal, I don't want to host any infrastructure which will keep on running forever behind scene. No, I want the infrastructure to be launched only when the file is actually stored in the cloud storage bucket, and then only the action is required to happen. Now, those type of implementations can be implemented using cloud functions. And then if you are looking for hybrid kind of implementations where, or multi-cloud kind of implementation, where you want to bring in best of Google Cloud, best of AWS, best of Azure, best of IBM Cloud, and even best of data center on premise in your company. Now, if those type of operations are in picture, then Kubernetes engine, which is Google's technology, but inside Google Cloud, it is known as Google Kubernetes Engine, or GKE, is typically recommended. Your module number 3 talks in detail about these offerings. And I want all of you to be very careful when you go through this particular section, because if you understand this particular part clearly, you will find your further courses or your next courses barely simple. Okay, so don't miss on the important parts. So I just covered these things in the same slide to be mindful of time, and that is where I have completed my discussion over here. So all the best for your journey, and I want you to focus on this particular course very, very critically, because it covers fundamentals to understand Google Cloud. So over to Ashish once again, if we have any questions.
Thank you, Meenal. That was tremendous as a session, and I know you covered and packed in a lot in that half an hour or so. I really hope this was beneficial to the participants. There are a couple of technical questions which I'm going to direct your way. before we
Sure.
go to the more generic ones, which I think are largely around credit again. So the
Yeah.
question is from Rushikesh Katkar, and he's asking, is there Flutter development in this course? I'm not sure what Flutter development refers to. I'm just reading this out.
Okay. I don't think Flutter development is part of this particular course, but this is, Rishikesh, a kind of entry level course, and with the knowledge or with the concepts which are covered in these courses, I'm sure you will be able to progress further in Flutter kind of related things. So this is kind of stepping stone. We are just started our journey with the exploration.
Great. Also, one common question that is coming up is people have requested for a recording of the session. So just for the benefit of everybody, the recording of this session will be available on the FutureSkills Prime YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you search for FutureSkills Prime, you will get to our channel and you will see this recording posted over there. So that's one. Couple of quick questions. What's the full form meaning of REST, R-E-S-T?
Okay, good question. REST-based API. I forget, to be very honest, but I can check and maybe get back to you. It's a framework which enables that communication between applications and cloud, I can say. It's a standard, but unfortunately, no, I'm not remembering it at this time. Sorry.
Fair enough. So I guess that's something that we will learn as well. Another thing that a common question that everyone's asking is what next after these courses, right? What else is there? So one, I want to just tell everyone that first of all, when you complete these courses as Nasscom, we are developing an assessment for this particular program. And for a nominal fees of rupees 600, you can take this assessment and also get an assessment certification. And that is something that adds tremendous value to CVs as well as to your job applications. So that is one thing. The second thing is we are working very closely with Isha and team to bring more programs from the Google Cloud fold as well. So you can keep visiting futureskillsprime.in, which is where you will see the additional programs that we bring together for you. So that's to answer some of these questions.
Sorry, Ashish. So I think Sridevi just helped me with long form for REST. It stands for representational state transfer. So thank you so much, Sridevi.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sri. Always the savior. There are a lot of questions which are still related to the credits per se. So I just want to ask Isha. Isha, do you want to take a minute either to just quickly summarize how people get credits and how to utilize them? So for example, the first set of credits are for the first 3 courses, and then additional credits will be given for the remainder courses and the timelines involved. Maybe if you can just do a quick recap, that way we can address all questions in one go.
Sure. I think a question everyone has with regards to credit. So I would refer the video that I've already shared in the chat window. That video is available for you all, even in the email that you have received from us, that talks how you can get the credits. So one common question everyone is asking, that what do we have to do before 10th of November? So before 10th of November, you just have to make sure that you redeem the credits in your account. Okay. So you can imagine this as a coupon code. So you have got a coupon code and you have to make sure that you get the credits in your account. So in the similar way, all you have to do is get the credits in your account before 10th of November and then use those credits for the next 6 months in your learning journey. I think that simplifies that. Now, I think, what are the other questions? Common questions, Ashish, which I can cover?
Yeah. So one question is that, on the time limit. So I think what we are saying is that the overall time limit available is 6 months. Correct, Isha?
Yeah. So you have time till April. So you can complete the course till April.
Yes. However, we recommend, right? This is just a guidance.
Yeah.
The guidance is please try and finish the first 3 courses in the first month or so. Is that correct, Isha? Is that what?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And can you help answer how do the remainder credits get unlocked? So after a participant does the first 3 courses,
Yeah.
how do the remainder of the credits get unlocked for the balance courses?
Yes. So for everyone to understand this better, every month on the 25th of every month, your performance is evaluated. So once your performance is evaluated, we understand how many courses you have done. Let's say you've completed 3 or more than 3 courses. So within the next 10 working days, you will receive one email that will have unique code again for you to get the remaining 400 credits. Now, please note that ideally to complete this course, you will just need approximately 400 credits only, the entire course. Okay. So we have already provided you, 1.2 times almost more credits to make sure that you, whenever you want to do reattempt of any lab, you are not lacking any credits. We advise you to use the credits wisely. And once you have completed, the entire course and you have some credits remaining, you can utilize them to learn more on the Google Cloud Skills Boost platform. Okay, so every month end, your performance is evaluated. We check your performance and provide you the unique code to get the 400 credits. For some of you, the email has already gone because it was the end of the month. Some of you already have received the email to get the remaining 400 credits. For the next slot, again at the end of November, your performance is evaluated and we'll be sharing the unique code with you to get the 400 credits. But don't worry, anytime you complete the 3 course, don't think that you have to stop there. You can still go ahead because I'm sure you have remaining credits. You can go ahead and complete the remaining labs. And that's what I would advise. Anytime you're facing any technical issues with any particular lab, please don't be stuck there. Reach out to the support team, and after that you can continue doing the next lab. Don't stick to just one particular lab because it's down for maintenance or any other reasons.
Thank you, Isha. I'm answering one question live, which is by Josfer Khanna, which is, can you please tell us how to get into Google Cloud website from FutureSkills website? So Josfer, 2 ways. One is that the emailer that you would have received, it has the link to the course on FutureSkills Prime website. So when you go there, it'll ask you to log in using an email ID. Please make sure you use the same email ID on FutureSkills Prime and on Quick Labs, which is the Google Cloud site. After you log into FutureSkills Prime site, there will be a course card of Google Cloud Computing Fundamentals with Kubernetes, which will be there. You need to click on the course card, which will direct you to the Google Cloud program or the Google Cloud course. That's the way to do it. The other way is that you can log into FutureSkills Prime. In the search box, if you search for the Google Cloud Computing Fundamentals program, it'll pop up the course card for this program. So you can use this particular the course card to direct yourself to the Google Cloud Quick Labs website. The website again for FutureSkills is futureskillsprime.in, right? That's the website. There is a question which is, when will the email for the assessment certification, which is worth rupees 600, so it's priced at a nominal cost of 600 come. This is by Suranil Biswas. Suranil, in the next 1 month, we will send emails to all registered learners with the link to the assessment that we are creating for this program. So in the next 1 month, you will find this link as well. So these were, I think, some of the more popular questions, and we've tried to club some of them. Just a disclaimer, because we're really over time. If there are any questions of yours which are left unanswered, or even if you come up with questions later on, I would encourage that there are 2 IDs that you can write to. These are support IDs. So first one is support@futureskillsprime.in. You can mention the course name, send in your query. We will get an answer to you over email. The second, if it's specific to the Google Cloud courses, you can write to support@quicklabs.com, right? And again, specific to that particular course, the Google Cloud team will be happy to get that question answered from you. Again, just to recap, the recording of this session will be available on the YouTube channel. Please search for FutureSkills Prime on the YouTube channel. You can access this recording there. We will continue to do more programs like this, hopefully at a monthly schedule, if not about a month and a half. We will try to make it as frequent as possible. And we look forward to catching up with you again. If you have any specific queries, even technical ones, we'll try our best to answer them. With that, I'd like to bring this session to a close. I really want to thank you to all the participants. It's a late evening. You've taken the time out. You've invested time in your learning and skilling. We are grateful for that. We hope we've been helpful to you. We always value your feedback. Please write to us at the support IDs, and see you again on the next webinar. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. All the best.